And I'm here on the Inside Noise.
And let me tell you guys what, you're in for a real treat.
She's amazing.
Like, flipping amazing. Get the EP. Enjoy the show. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yes, it is another week at the Inside Noise Show.
Yes, it is, and I am so happy to be here co-hosting today.
Yay! Monica is, Money's doing something. We don't know what. She's doing something, but that's fine.
Money.
I feel like I should say the goal of the show. The goal of the show is to not swear. We have a big guest today, and I'm pretty sure it is not part of her campaign trail to have swearing. So the goal of the show is to not swear.
I think we should put some sort of stakes on this.
You know what? I should have brought some wine or some vodka, and every time we swore, we should have taken a shot.
Oh, man, missed opportunity.
Suppose we could still get a drink at the bar, because we're live at Mixology 101, so you can come get a drink at the bar too if you want.
That's right. Right here with all the alcohol. Just teasing us just out of view here.
So much alcohol right now.
All right, so what stakes should we put on this no cursing? Let's see. Okay, maybe it should be like put a quarter in
the swear jar.
Yeah.
Okay, put a quarter in the swear jar, and the person with the least amount of quarters gets them. There we go. It's most likely going to be her.
Yeah.
Most likely going to be her. So that's the team goal.
I like it.
Should we start off with our favorite thing of the week?
Yes, let's do.
Would you like to go first?
Okay. I'm really excited about mine.
Okay.
So this past weekend, I got to fulfill a lifelong dream, Chrissy Carpenter.
Oh my gosh, what'd you do?
I got to meet elephants.
Congratulations!
Thank you. It was amazing. I got to meet them. I got to feed them. I got to hang out with them. It was so cool.
So you have never met elephants in person?
No.
And why is this was this something you loved as a kid? Why do you love elephants?
Okay, so it all goes back to many a year ago watching America's Next Top Model.
Okay.
They had an episode where they did a photo shoot with an elephant.
Oh.
And there was a particular model who seemed to have a connection with this elephant. And as she was posing on his back, she did this little pose with her finger. And the elephant reached up his trunk from behind and touched just the tip of his trunk to her finger.
Wow.
It was this magical, beautiful moment of connection in art. And ever since then,
You've needed to see an elephant.
I've needed to see an elephant, and they're such beautiful, smart, intelligent, loving souls, and I just really wanted to experience that in person, and I got to, and it was amazing.
Where'd you go?
I went to this place up in Monterey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it like an elephant sanctuary?
Kinda. It was, they take care of a lot of animals that used to be in Hollywood, but Hollywood no longer needs them because of CGI, which is great. I think it's great
too.
We've evolved. Yeah, so they take care of those elephants that used to have jobs and now are unemployed.
But I think that's better for them. I think they're happier that way.
They have a beautiful big home roaming around, and it was
That's
awesome.
cute. Once I went to Thailand with my family when I was younger.
Oh, wow.
And looking back now, I would not do this again, but I was young, so I didn't know. And we went to an elephant show, which I think is effed up. I wouldn't advocate for that now.
Like a circus sort of thing?
No.
They're just
I
doing
don't know.
tricks.
It was like a literal show about elephants.
Okay.
And they were like, volunteer from the audience. And so, of course, my sister and I, amongst a sea of not very Caucasian-y people, were chosen. And
stood out a bit.
A little bit. And so the elephant picked us up in its trunk and walked around the whole arena with us.
Oh my God.
Which was pretty awesome.
That's
It was pretty awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. But once again, I'm not an advocate for elephant shows because that's messed up. Let them alone.
But that's a pretty cool experience to
It was
have
a good experience.
as a kid.
Yeah,
That's,
it was good. It was rad.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got carried around by an elephant.
I did.
All right, maybe that should be my next
Next
goal.
goal. There you go, girl.
What's your favorite thing of the
All right,
week?
well,
What
here's my
happened to you?
favorite thing. You guys have known I've started climbing back in September.
Yes.
Indoor climbing. I did one outdoor climb, and this past week there's this huge rock formation at Joshua Tree called Headstone, and it like juts up into the sky. It's pretty much a peninsula of a rock, and people top rope it, which you're all like, what the H is top rope? But in any case, I went out there with some friends. We climbed up. This is gonna sound not as impressive as it was, but it was so impressive. Okay, this mother effer is like 50 feet tall, and
Do they call it headstone because people die there?
you know what? It looks like a headstone on a tomb. It's like
Right.
sticks straight up. Yeah, kind of, maybe. I don't know if there's any deaths, but in any case, I climbed up it. It started raining. It was windy. I was
Oh
you have to
gosh.
climb. They call it the arête, or some of you, a precipice might be a better term for you. I had to bring up a rope with me and clip it in as I climbed up. It was nuts, and I did it.
Wow.
Yes.
That I am
It was
so
crazy.
impressed.
It's crazy and amazing. So
You are so skilled and buff and like I almost cussed, but I did it. But I did it.
no cussing today, folks.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
An impressive woman.
Thank you.
Chrissy Carpenter.
Can't wait for the next one. So that was my favorite thing this
Can't
week.
wait to hear about
Yeah,
it.
thanks,
Were you
girl.
like taking pictures from the top, or was
Yes,
it you?
but we had someone who took professional photos. Well, I don't want to say professional photos. We had a professional camera with us. And we
Nice.
were taking photos with the professional camera.
Legit.
Legit.
I'm
So
gonna have to check out your Instagram.
please do. It's all there, folks.
Yeah.
It's all there, folks. So what's going on in the world today, guys? We only have time for 2 what's going on in the world because we started a tad bit tardy, but that's okay. So why don't you start with what's going on in the world?
Okay, so we've all heard of 3D printed houses.
We have,
at
we
this
have.
point, right? That
Yes.
got started maybe
Maybe
a couple
a
years
year,
ago,
2 years ago.
recently.
Yeah.
So we've now moved on to the next level of this.
Okay.
New Story, which is a nonprofit that works on the international homeless crisis, has partnered with Icon, and they have come up with a 3D printed house system that can print a concrete house between 12 and 24 hours.
Ooh.
A whole house, 12 to 24 hours.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. And it's more sustainable than the ones that they were previously making
Yes.
out of plastic. Like
Ooh.
it's more sturdy.
Right.
You know, it's going to withstand weather.
Yeah.
And they can make them between 650 square feet to 800 square feet,
awesome.
which is, yeah.
That's a nice little studio.
It
It's
is.
a pretty spacey studio,
It is,
really.
Yeah, so they just unveiled the first one in Austin, Texas.
Mhm.
And they're going to be doing some testing on that, on air quality and temperature and all of that. And then
Yes.
they're moving their printer to El Salvador, and they're going to print the first 100 houses for the homeless in El Salvador.
Yes, I
Yes.
love this.
Yes, so they're working on making this a global thing. They're working out all the kinks, but they really want this to be a solution for, I think it was 1.5 billion people in the world are homeless.
Wow.
1.5 billion.
This could be a serious game changer.
Yes.
I love this.
Yeah.
And it's, what was it, $10,000 they can do this for?
Okay, so the first model they made for $10,000, but they're thinking they can get the cost down to $4,000 a house.
Whoa.
4,000. That is some
Whoa.
people's monthly rent in
Yeah,
Los
and
Angeles.
those of you who are paying that might want to rethink things a little bit. I'm just saying.
Yes, and they're a little bigger than, you know, the whole tiny house movement that's
Right,
going on.
right,
So
right,
they're
right.
a little bigger, so you don't have to, you know, like they actually have a separate bedroom and living room and bathroom. So it's actually
Yeah,
not
you-
quite a studio. It's like a one bedroom,
That's
just a really small one.
amazing.
Yes.
We love this, and we hope it comes to LA because we definitely have a huge homeless crisis on our hands. So this would
Absolutely.
be amazing.
They're hoping to be printing in the U.S. within the next couple of years. But one other really cool thing about this, they're thinking they can use this in outer space.
Oh, dang.
You know, there's a big push to get us in outer space. And one of the big problems about that was how are we going to build houses when you can't be nailing down a 2x4 with your nail like
Right?
floating off.
Floating off into gravity, anti-gravity.
Yeah, so the printer is called the Vulcan.
Okay.
And they're thinking the Vulcan might be a good way to print houses.
Keep our
in
eye out
outer
for the
space.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
Okay, that was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, one other thing that's going on in the world, guys.
What you got? What's happening on your side of the world?
So, Macy's. Who doesn't love a Macy's sometimes?
Yes.
I mean, I personally don't frequent Macy's, but you know, there's a lot going on there. Some people love
nice
it.
department store.
Good department store. Yes, nice department store. So what I love, and most of you know, I used to live in Saudi Arabia, so I'm definitely an advocate for those who are Muslim, you know, equal rights, all that jazz. Well, Macy's is the first U.S. retailer to launch a hijab collection, and they've partnered with a young lady who's a
Wow.
single mom. Her name is Lisa Vogel. She's a single mom. She converted to Islam in 2011, and she had started a boutique that was very fashionable. Hijabs, abayas, loose-fitting clothing that was also stylish and conservative, because there's just not a lot of that out on the market.
Yeah, it's hard to
And yeah, and she had done an event with Macy's where she was given a chance to showcase all of her work outside of a Macy's at their flagship location, and Macy's was like, "This is amazing!" And they've been wanting to partner with more ethnicities. And so she is going to exclusively have rights with Macy's. Her collection is called Verona. And you don't have to be Muslim to love the collection. Maybe you're a modest lady and there's nothing wrong with that, girl.
Yeah.
You do your thing. They've got some cute pants on there, some like tunic dresses, some, like I said, some headscarves, very stylish. I think this is amazing. I support you, Lisa Vogel. And guys, get on there, Macy's. I looked, the collection is already out. It launched February 25th. So if you go on Macy's.com and just look up Verona collection, you're gonna see it and you can get yourself some. So I love that.
Cool. Yeah, I took a look at it too. It was very fashionable. That's the thing with conservative clothing. It can be hard to be
Right.
cute and still conservative, and they had bright colors. They had, you know, like beautiful cardigans and
Right.
loose pants. It was all very beautiful line.
And let me tell you what, retailers, from living in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, not many women work, but a lot of women shop. And there's a lot of money in that country. And this is, I think I saw, it's like a $430 billion industry that isn't really being tapped into.
Yeah.
So, hey, get it together.
Get on it.
Together. Make yourself some money. And
That's
support
right.
our Muslim friends. Yo.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Way to go, Macy's.
So way to go, Lisa Vogel. High five, girl. Okay, it is time to figure it out with Curry Terrell. We missed
so
him the other
excited.
week. He disappeared. We don't know. It was craziness, but he's back.
Kidnapped and he's
we
back.
found him.
Yay.
He's back.
Hello,
Hi, how
Curry.
are you?
Nice
Nice to see you.
to see you.
Get
What's
in
going on?
her.
Welcome back.
Thank you so
Scoochie
much.
Scooch.
Hi.
Hi,
You're
darling.
lovely.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. How you doing? What's
We
this?
work-
What's happening?
It's a fashion statement.
Did you get this from Macy's?
No, I did not. I got it from like the weird pharmacist by my house. It was like, gave me a right-handed one first. And I got home and I put it on and I was like, wait.
This is not.
Wait. So like a month ago or so, I went roller skating.
Okay.
And it was really fun. So like
Yeah.
2 weeks later, we went again for another one of my friend's birthdays.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm great at this now. Because I like basically I wasn't bad, but I wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like I was
Right.
passable at best.
Mediocre.
Exactly.
Mediocre skater.
And so towards the end of the night, I had fallen 100 times,
As people
which is
do.
fine. Like
It's
I don't
fine.
care.
It happens
That's the
when you
whole
skate.
fun is like
Right.
you fall and
Yeah,
you get back up.
Whatever.
So someone behind me fell and yanked on me. And so I just didn't like brace properly.
No.
So I like went a week. I'm the worst. I hate going to the doctor.
Oh, me too. I'm like-
I'm fine. But finally, after like a week, it was like still swollen and still really hurting. So I was like, I should probably go. But it's just sprained.
Okay.
So, you know.
So you've had this for a week? More than a week?
I've had this like a cool week and a half, I'd say.
Okay, what'd the doc say? How long you gotta wear
Davey
this
said
bad
like
boy?
2-3 weeks. Or until it
Okay.
stops hurting.
Until it stops
So I've
hurting.
started testing, a little bit like in the evening when I'm not doing anything, being like, I cannot have this on, So I know I feel like crazy. The weirdest part is eating.
Oh, yeah.
In like work, I'm like, counting
about-
money keeps like falling, change keeps. I'm like,
Kurt, where'd
hold-
you get that extra
I'm like,
20?
hold on, here you go. Hold on, here you go. I know, I'm just stealing money.
Now
What
would
about
be a
the
great
gym?
time to get good at
Ooh.
poker.
Okay, so
That's
I
heavy.
know, so I couldn't really go because you do weights and stuff the whole time. It's
You
a
gotta
class.
run.
So yeah, so I've been hiking a lot more, but this week I've gone back and
Okay.
they're modifying things for me. So
Right.
basically, I get to be that person that's like a pain. They're like,
Hold on, class.
everyone do this, but Curry, you're gonna do.
This.
But they have you do a full minute of sit-ups instead of one of the things that require push-ups.
push-ups.
And let me just say, I'm not good at that.
But
So
are you
that
getting
was
better
really
now?
But
cute.
you're getting better, yeah. It's just
Not
opportunity.
really. I was like, it was like 30 seconds in. I was like, and I was like, when you get dusty, you're like, but I did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
But-
faith in you.
Exactly. Thank you. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what are we going to figure out today,
Okay,
Kurt?
so I'm going to tell you about my newest obsession
Love
besides
that.
traveling.
Okay.
I'm in a travel mood this year,
Ooh,
and I don't
me
know,
too.
I never am that person, but I got a passport.
What?
I'm going to Mexico.
Yes.
So, and I just went to San Francisco. So, like, I'm trying to, like,
get
not
out
sit in
more.
LA all the time.
I love that.
Good.
Sometimes LA is such a big city, you feel like you don't need to travel. Or for
Yeah,
me
just
at
go
least.
to a
I
different
know.
part.
Yeah, exactly.
It
It's like
feels
you can
you're
just
in a whole
explore
other
sort
place.
of-
Driving out
yeah.
to the beach, you're like,
Exactly.
I am in Mexico.
Yeah, you're like, I've had a
Or
day
the
away.
mountains.
Yeah.
Or the exactly.
Yeah.
Drive to, yep, Big
Yeah.
Bear, an hour and a half.
So this year I'm like, I need to, like, actually see other places besides Los Angeles.
I love that.
So that's one thing. But number two, I'm going to tell you about this app. It's
Okay.
called Live HQ. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, it's called. I was like gonna show it, but I was like, the camera's so far away. Who will see it? Like, so anyway, it's on your phone. It's a free game on your phone.
Oh God, it's a game.
But it comes on twice a day.
Oh, I think I have heard of this.
Okay, it's a free game, and all you have to do is answer 12 questions, and the
Yes.
prizes vary. Sometimes it's $1,000. Sometimes it ends up being $100,000.
Wait, these are real prizes?
It's a real
Yes.
prize. It's made by the same people who made Vine, aka Twitter.
Right,
So it like
right.
trickles down. This is like, instead of redoing Vine, this is sort of what they've channeled that
What do you mean
into.
it comes on twice a day?
So it comes
What
on
is
at
that?
12
Certain
and
times.
6 p.m.
Do you have to log in right at 12 and right at 6?
But that's
Well, it's a
Pacific
game.
time, right?
Yes, that's our time, 12 and 6. Yeah, their time it's 3 and 9.
Oh, it's like an active game against other humans?
Yes. So the most they've had so far is 4 million people playing, and usually the prize boils down to about 20 people.
Because the questions are really hard.
No,
right?
it starts out, some of them
and
it's
6?
like, if the S stands for salt, what does the P stand for? Like it's like just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
Okay.
except you can't phone a friend. And it goes so quickly, you do not have time. Because at first I was like, I'll just Google the answers while I'm sitting here. No, you don't have time for that. But anyway, I've been addicted, and so far I've made it, there's 12 questions, and so far I've made it to 9.
So, wait, if you make it to 12, you're the winner?
You win.
So not everybody makes it. There's never like a double winner.
What do you mean?
Can there ever be 2 winners at one time or no?
Yes, sometimes 20 people win, 30 people
Oh,
win.
oh, oh,
it's
oh.
as many people get to the
Get
end
the
as
12.
win. They one time had it where it boiled down to one person because it was like a bigger prize, but I can't remember what that was. But usually it's in every single time people win. So it's the easiest way. It takes 2 minutes out of your day, and it's better than playing the lottery because you actually have like a somewhat, and you're learning.
And it tests your intelligence.
Exactly.
So I guess they picked when people have a lunch break at 12,
Mhm.
when people get home from work, they take their dog out, it's now 6.
Exactly. Or you can sneak to the bathroom, and it's just short enough to where people aren't like, "What's going on here?"
It's literally 2 minutes?
It's like, it's
Well,
like,
it depends on how quickly you get
They
out.
go pretty quick. It's like maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah,
I
I can
saw-
be in the bathroom for 3 or 4 minutes. You don't know what's
for
going on.
Sure. Everyone brings their phone to the bathroom anyways. We all
Oh,
know.
duh.
We all know.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a woman who was playing this game, and she'd been trying forever to win, and she finally got to the 12th question.
Yeah.
She won, and she like broke out in hysterics, fell on the floor, was screaming, "I won! I won! I won!" She won $11.
Because you split the prize.
$11, but it was everything to her.
But she made it.
Yeah, her reaction was so big that Ellen had her on the show.
Oh, Ellen loves those big
Oh,
yes.
reactions.
Yes, $11.
I need to do
I'm
this.
telling you, it's called Live HQ. It's a free game, and even if you just play once or twice, I think it's fun. And it's like, I'd say Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but like on a personal level.
Okay, I'm totally gonna do this.
Yeah.
This is my new money making scheme.
Me
Watch
too.
you win a bunch of money, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, nice knowing you."
You know, if I win like a significant amount of money, I'll give you anywhere between 1 and 500, depending on how
Oh,
much
you don't
I
have to
win.
give me. Buy me lunch. Like that's all.
Oh,
I'm
well,
asking.
it'll be like a really nice lunch. We'll go to Houston's or the Ivy or
Oh,
something.
ooh la la.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
very LA. I like it.
Don't forget to invite me, guys.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah,
right.
you can come too.
Here, too.
I mean,
Okay.
you're paying for yourself, but you're invited. All right, that's what I have for you.
I love
Figure it out.
Yes, I'm gonna figure it out. That
Yeah.
was amazing.
It's good, and it's also good to like keep your brain going.
Stimulated.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it young.
Besides just scrolling through Instagram all day.
Okay, yeah. Who doesn't lose their life to Instagram all the time? Okay, Live HQ. I'm
Live
downloading
HQ.
it today.
Me too.
Good.
Definitely.
Let me know what you think.
Okay, and tell everyone where they can find and follow you, because Curry has a show too, guys, and you should check it out.
Everything's under my Instagram or anything. It's Curry Terrell, CurrieTerrell. I don't know why I point. Like, what am I pointing at? I'm spelling it out in my
If
head.
someone is a
Say that,
visual
like, 5
learner, I
times
feel like
fast.
this could help them.
Yeah.
There you go. It's actually so you can edit it in on the bottom, and I can be like,
I do edit
Yeah.
it in, actually. I edit your
do
hand.
my fingers bounce?
I can try working on that. I'll try that.
You're
But
like
I
up at
do
3 o'clock in the
I
morning,
do.
like, you're like, I hate curry. I'm trying to like pop it in. I love that.
Okay, and Curry will be with us next month. We can't wait.
Yes.
And just so everyone knows, midway through June we'll go on hiatus. I feel like we're sneaking closer already.
Don't say that. It's not even Easter. Like,
Okay.
let's just take our time.
Take our time.
Get through it.
Eat the jelly beans. Make
Yes.
it
Deviled
happen.
eggs.
I like the peas.
deviled
Are deviled eggs an Easter thing?
Yes.
I like deviled eggs, but I've never the South. But like
It's eggs. It's Easter.
yeah, that
Oh, I
makes
guess that makes
sense.
sense, yeah.
Get it together, guys.
I did buy marshmallow peeps to yesterday.
Yum, they're so good.
I only consumed I was gonna say 2, but really I ate 4.
You ate the
Don't
whole
lie
box.
to us.
I ate 4.
Don't
It's
lie to
empty.
us.
I ate 4, and then I put them on my table, and I'm like, here, other people ate them. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna get curry next month. We're gonna take a really quick break. We'll be back with our guest Jess Phoenix. We can't wait. We're doing
So
awesome
excited.
with our no swearing so far.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep
No
it up.
quarters in the
well,
jar.
Jess is running for Congress, so today is a no swearing episode.
I don't curse, so
Yeah,
you
actually, you're
had
great.
me. Yeah.
I'm terrible. And we'll be back in a jiff, guys. Hang tight. See you in a minute.
Bye.
Hi, guys. We're back.
Welcome back.
You know, Judith Brooke, you made a great observation about this week's episode. I feel like there's a lot of fire in the picture. I just, you know, I mean, hey. Well, welcome to the show, Jess Phoenix.
Thank you for having
For
me.
those of you who don't know, Jess does everything. She's the actual real superwoman, the real one. She's a volcanologist. She's a geologist. She's an extreme explorer. She's been chased by drug traffickers, which I cannot wait to ask her about.
She's an animal rescuer.
Oh,
Yes.
see, love that. Love that because I have a rescue dog.
Yep.
And she's ready for Congress. Holy bananas!
Good job not cursing. Because we all know no one in the government ever curses.
Never.
Ever.
No.
I'm totally not talking about President Trump at all.
No,
no,
never.
no.
Bunch of saints and angels up
Yes.
there.
Treats women fairly, everything, the whole 9.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to get into the Congress situation
Okay.
momentarily, but
Sounds
let's
good.
get into all the other good stuff.
Okay.
What I found interesting was your parents were in the FBI.
Yeah, they're retired now.
Yes,
so.
and they were, I'm not sure, Republican by nature?
They are Republican.
They are Republican
Yes.
by nature?
Yeah.
My dad as well is Republican.
You get it.
I've been helping him be a little less Republican-y, but around like his dad, he has to pretend he's a super Republican still. But when he's with me, my siblings were like, Dad, come on, get it. Okay. Anyways, so what do you think changed for you when you got out there on your own, decided to form your own opinions? How did you become not Republican?
Yeah, I registered as Republican when I was 18 because I
Yes.
thought that's what
Did
you
I?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then realized pretty quickly I went to Smith College, which is in Massachusetts, and has a reputation for being very liberal, very gay friendly, very just out, anti-racism, anti-classism. Like that's sort of what the school is about.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I thought, wow, racism is still a problem. Homophobia is still an issue. Like I didn't know. So it was then I sort of started to see that the world wasn't just as insular as it had been where I grew up, which was, everybody was, what we associated with was mostly the same.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit more of a diversity introduction. And then when I started to move to bigger cities and to travel the world, I was like, oh, a lot of people out here have very different challenges. And, just sort of realized that not everybody is on the same playing field even. Not only is it not level, but people aren't even on the same game,
Right.
So it was like, it just makes sense that we need policies that work towards people having more equity. So more opportunity, more access to that opportunity. And that is more where the Democratic Party is. So that's where I am.
So were your parents like, that's where we messed up, sending her to Smith College? No.
I think so. I think
Party
so.
as a Democrat.
No, it was more of I called, when I told my parents I was going to run last year, I was in the car with my husband and we had them on speakerphone.
Uh-oh.
And there was just this silence. And they kind of went, okay. And then I was like, okay, great, talk to you later, bye. It was, oh man. And, it's funny because my mom has contributed to the campaign. My dad's like, I can't do it, honey. And I'm like, okay, Dad, that's fine. But they have gotten Jess Phoenix for Congress t-shirts, which
Yes.
I have pictures of my
There
dad
we go.
wearing his on a golf course in Hawaii because he's retired. He gets to do that now.
Right.
But I'm like, that Dad, like, I can't believe you actually wore it, but I know he wore it in Hawaii because he didn't know anybody there. So he wouldn't get seen by his friends.
Isn't it interesting? You think that a parent's love for their kid would trump their political affiliation, but it doesn't.
Well, I mean, it does. They love me. They love me no matter what. But I think it's
Of
been
course.
tough because when you realize that somebody you are, close to in any way, like whether it's blood or a relationship or anything, when they have a very different viewpoint than you, it can be shocking. And I know a lot of people
Yeah.
have lost friends, even family members that they had, close relationships with over the current political climate. So I'm just
Very
really
true.
grateful that my parents and I are still on, good terms and they still love me and I still love them. Like,
Right.
this is important.
Yeah, I've had to institute the Dad, no religion, no politics conversation between us. It never ends well, ever.
Yeah, it's just like let's not talk about it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I understand completely.
So, okay, you're this lovely progressive young lady. How did you get into studying volcanoes, studying the rocks, studying the minerals?
Yeah, so I mean, even the view from here, you can see mountains. And I grew up in Colorado, largely. I kind of moved a lot, but Colorado's where I went to high school, and we have a lot of mountains there, and it's really neat. And I always kind of thought, I wonder why those are there, but I never really did a deep dive into that. And then in college, I just happened to take a geology class, just Geology 101, and was like, they have answers to these questions. It seems so fundamental that nobody is talking about around me. And yeah, it's sort of just, I was able to take a class the next semester where we went to Death Valley out here in California. It was funded by the National Science Foundation, and it was a bunch of students from Massachusetts, where I went to school, and we went out to Death Valley for 11 days, and I had never even been camping.
Oh my God.
And there was, like, we were in Death Valley and Panamint Valley next door. Death Valley has tourist stuff there.
Yeah.
Panamint Valley, none of it. So you are literally pooing and peeing outside, and I had never done that. So I'm like, oh God, how long can I hold it? Not 11 days. So I learned real fast, and now I try to help other students, like with the nonprofit I run, I bring them out, and I'm like, okay, here's what you need to do, here's the shovel, here's how you know.
Right.
And so it's such an interesting thing, like people can adapt and they can be involved in things, so many different things, if they're passionate about it. And so that's, you know, it's just seeing the mountains, understanding how the landscape formed, and then man, when I got an internship at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory, it was on. It was like, I was like, oh my God, volcanoes, this is it. I mean, because there's nothing like flowing lava or like an actual active erupting volcano.
I mean, I say that all the time.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, everybody. It's just,
Everyone feels that way.
but you know, everyone's like, oh, Redheads, lava thing. I'm like, yeah, fire, it's what we do. Yeah. But no, and it's just anything though. Anything about like the big picture questions, like why the Earth is the way it is. Like I love that stuff. It's just the curiosity, really.
Yeah, and you just mentioned your nonprofit, so it's called Blueprint Earth.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about Blueprint Earth.
Yeah, so I founded it 5 years ago with my husband, Carlos, and I really got frustrated because scientists often will be in one narrow field of study, and they specialize so much that sometimes we miss the big picture questions. And I wanted to see how the environments functioned as a whole system. So everything from microbes all the way up to the atmosphere. And so we bring students out to the Mojave Desert, that's our first environment, and we teach them how to do geology, biology, hydrology, and atmospheric research.
A lot of ologies.
Yeah, so there's all the ologies, and it's really great because we do it at no cost to the students. So
That's
we
amazing.
see a much more diverse group of students than you get previously.
Right.
Because you know, field camps usually cost like $5,000 to $7,000 for a week, and we're like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
it's
not
you know, no
Keeps a
cost.
lot of people out who
It
would
does.
be so great at it but can't afford the opportunity to do so.
That's exactly it. And we need to really, again, it's about leveling the playing field and making science accessible because everybody has the capacity to do science. I mean, we're all born as scientists. We want to test and explore, and does this taste good? Can I lick the dog? No, probably not.
Right.
Yeah, I would not recommend it, but you know, you have to learn that for yourself. Or do I stick this fork in the light socket?
Oh, God.
Kids do this stuff. I mean,
Very curious little critters.
and we are all that way. So it's just making sure that kids have access to be creative and curious as adults. That's what matters.
I mean, think
Love
about
that
it.
philosophy.
It's a super broad statement, but we certainly, all of society would not be to where it is today without science.
Exactly.
Very true.
I mean, I don't love math, and science is okay to me, but we sure as heck need it.
We do need
in
it.
everything we do.
And not everybody has to be amazing at calculus to even be a scientist. I mean, there's so many sciences that you just need a basic understanding of how these things work. But then I'll tell you, because I don't do earthquakes, I don't use calculus hardly ever in my work. So the people who do earthquakes, they use calculus all the time. So more power to them.
I always
You're
wondered what
masochistic.
calculus was for.
Earthquakes. I mean, it's for
Yeah,
other
I
things
know.
too, but earthquakes.
Something.
Yeah, it has a use. It's just not one that you come across every day. So that doesn't mean that people should not study calculus. It is great. Study calculus.
Yes, study calculus. Okay, so you've had a ton of fun accomplishments, right? Like we said, you've been chased by oh Lord have mercy, chased by drug traffickers.
I love that you
good.
list that as an accomplishment.
I feel like it's a huge accomplishment.
I know, actually, that's kind of a good way of looking
Right?
at it. Oh, really? Yeah.
Dodging thieves in Peru, folks, horses in Mongolia. I mean, you've been on numerous shows. So how did you get into these amazing adventures?
Saying yes.
I
Fundamentally, that's
love
it.
that.
And I encourage all the students I work with, I'm like, say yes. Because if someone says, hey, we've got an opening on this research cruise, would you like to come? It's going to be a month. You're like, I was supposed to be at school and teaching, but let me see if I can rearrange my schedule. Like, because people just, you know, taking opportunities, that's what opens doors. And, you know, you kind of have to tell people that you're looking for opportunities. That's how I've gotten to do all the neat things I've done is, you know, it's showing up, it's being there, it's telling people, hey, I'm interested in this. You know, whether you're interested in, you know, gardening at home or fashion design or whatever, just tell people that's what you care about. And then if they find an opportunity, they're going to tell you. And then it's up to you to say yes.
Tell us the inside details about the drug traffickers. What happened? How were they chasing you?
So you were fixated on this.
I mean, think about it. This is a great image. I see her with her hair flopping in the wind, like sprinting.
Well, actually, the funny thing is, so there were a couple incidents because I was doing research for my PhD in Mexico, in Sinaloa, and this was 2010, 2011. Like, the drug cartels were going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it was very dangerous. And I was there with my husband. This was our actual honeymoon. It was like we just got married, and now we're going to go to Sinaloa for a few months and do research in the middle of these volcanic fields, that extinct volcanoes in this case.
Romance.
So we're like, we're driving, we're taking a Jeep, we're off-roading, we're like stopping and breaking rocks with hammers and writing notes on them, and we were going to process them in a lab later, but we had to get all the samples. So we were out there in really rural parts of Mexico, and we would, come down a dirt road and we would see like, oh look, a marijuana growing operation. Oh look, men with AK-47s. Cool, let's go the other way. And actually the incident in particular, which technically I chased them, which I don't know if that makes it cooler or less cool. I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah, but what happened was I had Carlos was helping a lot because I had shoulder surgery, so my whole left arm was in a sling. I couldn't use it.
Oh, girl,
so,
you went against all the elements.
I know, exactly, right? And so we're there, and fortunately I speak Spanish. This is the good part
I was
of
just about
working
to ask,
there.
who speaks Spanish?
We both do, yeah, but I don't look like I do, so they always would assume he does, but not me.
Right, so when
that's
they talk
okay.
smack about you, you can be like,
I turn around and go, cállate, and they're like, oh my, she knows, the gringa knows what we're saying. But yeah, so we're standing there working in this really remote area, and suddenly this Durango, this white Dodge Durango with like spinning rims, comes out of the forest, and we're like,
Of course.
huh. And then, the windows are all tinted except for the windshield, and you can see the guys have pop collars, aviators on,
Oh, no.
and we're like, quick, get in the Jeep. So we run back to the Jeep, we jump in, and we kind of like drive by them. We have a thing from the university in Mexico, a big magnet on the side of the car, and so we're just like, we look official-ish, and we kind of waved, and we kept going, and then a couple minutes later we stopped. We were going to get more samples, and we're like, shoot, the rock hammer. And my rock hammers are special. Like, it's the geologist's main tool. And mine, it weighs 20 ounces, so it's more than a pound. It basically puts all of the hammers you use to, around the house to shame.
Okay.
And they're special because they don't break. Like, the handle and the head of it are all one piece of steel. And mine had a big bright orange handle.
No.
And I'm like, I can't find it. Carlos is like, I can't find it. I could only carry my notebook because I had one hand, and he hadn't grabbed it. So we went, oh crap, we got to go get it. So we went back to where we were working. It was gone. And I'm like, the narcos took it.
No.
Awesome. So we're like, well, I got to go get it because
Gotta go
otherwise
after
I
them.
cannot complete the next month and a half of research I have to do out here. Like,
You can't get one at Amazon?
to get it sent to
2D Prime?
to get it sent to a fishing village in Sinaloa with 100
Amazon,
people.
get with it.
You could
So
buy
you
in this
gotta go
town where I was
chase the
working.
narco.
No, in this town there was literally they would sell you one egg at a time. One egg.
What?
Because they only had a limited number of chickens in the town. There was like so this is the kind of level that we were where we were.
Okay.
So we're
You
like
needed the hammer.
we needed the hammer. We needed that hammer. And so we went bombing down the hill like back out over this dirt road to catch up to them, and I was like, what if there were guns? Well, if we see a gun, we're going to slow down. If we hear anything weird, we're going to slow down. But we ended up getting close to them and we flashed the headlights and they slowed to a crawl and they stopped.
no.
And then as we drive up, there's a bunch of dudes in this Durango
Right, yeah.
and the window rolls down a little bit and I'm right next to the guy. And I said, hola, soy geóloga y necesito mi martillo, por favor. Estoy trabajando. I'm like talking like I'm working, and I really need my hammer, please. Do you have it? And they're like, they're like, okay, the redheaded gringa is speaking Spanish and saying she's a geologist and she's studying volcanoes. So then they went, so there's volcanoes here? Are we in danger? And I'm like, no, they're extinct volcanoes. But I really need the hammer because this is science and I'm working with the university and I'm trying to protect people in the future. And they're like, oh, okay, so is it this hammer? And I'm like, yes, that is the hammer. And they gave it back.
Nice.
So, yeah. So it was,
that.
but we did get run off from a few places by dudes with AKs. So that the chasing happened
Right,
too. But
right,
I
right.
chased them as well. So I needed to get that out there.
For
guys,
science.
For science,
Not
always.
all
Love it.
drug dealers are bad. I mean, come on.
Not
You know, they're-
everyone
well,
running
that's
for
actually-
Congress is going to risk their life for,
For science.
Yes.
And that's the thing, though. Actually, that's a really good point that you made. Not all drug dealers get into it because they are horrible human beings. In Mexico,
No.
it's a huge problem, and it's one of the only ways that some people can keep themselves out of poverty. The same with a lot of Latin American countries. So I think it's important we have people in Congress who understand that it's not just terrible people from below
Absolutely,
our border. It's
absolutely.
not. It's actually the U.S. has a lot of demand for drugs, and who fills that? The people who can.
Right.
So really sad. And Mexico is a wonderful country, and I absolutely loved working there. But man, it was sad to see the violence that would happen and the way that the cartels have a stranglehold. I mean, it's really sad. So we need to fix this. We need to help fix it.
Yeah,
we can't solve it, but we can help.
Right, and you look at the deeper issue, obviously, like you said, they're doing it for survival.
Yes.
So what do we need to do to help them survive that is not that?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's kind of the bigger issue there.
Yep. I mean, when one group rises, everybody rises. Like, it's that whole theory: the ocean rises, all the boats rise. And so we need to make sure that we are taking care of, everybody in our global community. Obviously, we got to focus on people right here in the U.S., but we need to help our neighbors too, because we're all connected now.
Right. Yeah.
So
this is very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the moment you decided to run for Congress. Dun, dun, dun.
It was not as cool as narcos or volcanoes. I was actually, I knew after Trump won that our representative, Steve Knight, was kind of wishy-washy. I mean, he is kind of a wishy-washy dude. And he had said, I'm not going to vote for Trump the day of the election. When he became clear Trump was winning, he was like, I voted for Trump. And Knight is it was only his second term that he just won election to, and Hillary won our district. And I said, well, let's see, is he going to represent what our district wants, or is he going to vote with Trump? He's voted with Trump 98% of the time. So I gave a talk at the Natural History Museum in LA, and I had a friend of mine and his wife, they're both friends, I should say, they both came up to me, and they had their twin 4-year-old boys with them. And they said, we're really afraid of the world that our kids are growing up in. Like, they're going to come into this world where there's hate and intolerance and ignorance and fear, and really wish we had good people in government. And I kind of went, oh, well, that makes sense. Well, yeah, but then it took another group of scientists who are my colleagues coming up to me at the same talk and saying, we need some scientists in government. And maybe you could do it. I mean, you're good at talking to people. And I'm like, maybe I could. And so that's when it sort of germinated. And then, of course, I'm a scientist, so I started to do some research.
Yes, yeah.
And it sort of snowballed from there. And so here I am, like a year later, running. I mean, I've been running since April, and it is crazy. Like, I could tell you so much about the political world, but I will tell you the biggest problem that we have right now is big money in politics.
I totally agree.
Yep, that is it. That is the number one problem it's why we have so many other issues, like why we're not passing gun reform, why the pharmaceutical companies are charging as much as they are for drugs, and hiking prices arbitrarily. Like, it's all because of the fact that we have big corporations having this crazy amount of influence on our system.
I mean, pretty much, the big corporations are what run this country, but not everybody's aware of that.
Yeah.
So
and bravo to you for calling that out and informing people in your campaign and doing a grassroots fundraising.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need regular people to have a voice. I mean, only
Absolutely.
0.58% of U.S. adults donate politically. And I mean, I don't know if you all have ever donated to a candidate, but most people haven't. Yeah, but most people haven't. So even if somebody donates $5 to whoever
still
they
helps.
want, that helps because it gives them a say in who gets on the ballot. And that's what we need.
And that's $5 less that they need to get from those corporations who are negatively influencing our politics.
Exactly. You get it. You guys are smart. You know.
So let's think big here, Jess.
Okay. I like that.
Jess wins. She's our congresswoman for your district.
Yay.
Do you have any plans at this moment in time to, go further into politics?
Well, I will say no, because I didn't want to be a politician, right? And it's funny because a lot of people who end up doing good jobs of leadership are not wanting to be politicians. But that's actually what we need in Congress. We need people who aren't politicians. We need people who are, nurses and janitors, who are retail store managers, who are teachers. Like, that's who we need in Congress. And that's what it was designed to be. So I want to go into Congress as a scientist who is serving.
Right.
That's how I see it. And then, I will solve problems because that's what I want to go there to do, solve problems. And then when I'm done, I will go back and be a scientist. Like, that's my idea.
Okay.
And that's the thing is, I think that we do need people to come in and make a difference, and then also to get out of the way, because we're going to have other generations, fresh voices that need to be heard too. So I think that, I don't think being in there for my whole life is what I want, and I don't see myself being a career politician, but I do want to solve problems, and that is a career I can get behind.
That's awesome. And we have a mutual friend, Dylan Brody.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
I've had Dylan on the show twice.
Oh, that's so great. He is so funny and so smart.
He is funny, and I've gone to see his show twice, I think. One of his shows. Yeah, he's great. So, hey, Dylan, what's up?
Yay!
Is he in your district?
No, but he's right next to it. Like he's like a mile out of it, and
gotcha.
and he actually came and did an event for us like 2 Mondays ago.
Yeah.
And it was at a local bookstore, and he said he'd do other ones. So hopefully we can start getting some crowds out to see Dylan, because he's an
great.
awesome performer, and he's so smart. I love it.
And just so people know, what is your district?
Oh yeah. It's so it's LA County and a little bit of Ventura County. So it goes from Simi Valley, it includes Porter Ranch, Santa Clarita Valley, and then all the way up to Lancaster and Palmdale, all the way east to Lake Los Angeles. So it's actually parts of LA County that people don't even think are LA County.
Yeah.
And it's a huge district, and there's so much potential there. So I'm really working hard to bring green technology to make it a hub for green tech innovation. Yeah, because I'm like, we can do this. We have the space, we have the talent. I mean, we have some fantastic infrastructure for manufacturing things out there. Let's make it happen.
Yeah,
And
California is already a leader in green technology. Let's go further.
let's make it a global hub. Why not? And then we can have jobs there. And I want it to be a destination, because it is so cool. Like, if you haven't been out to the Mojave Desert, come check it out.
Get there.
It's really amazing. There's Joshua trees all over the place. There's beautiful mountain views, and I would love to see festivals there. I want to see an academic institution there. I'd love it if it was a Cal State. I'll take a UC. We've had some trouble having that happen, but it'd be great to have a 4-year research institution or institution that can support green tech innovation, and so we can be a center for years to come. And that's how we deal with big problems like automation that's happening. It's going to eliminate a lot of jobs for people.
Right.
So if we have a new field that we are at the vanguard of, like, it's going to be amazing.
That is going to be amazing.
So that's what I want to push for. And, Congress or not, like, that's what I want to work for, because this area has so much potential. And I think, it's cheaper than living in here in LA, and a lot of people want more space. So it works out well. Just they need the infrastructure. So that's what I'm trying to work on.
And let's just say, not just Dylan Brody supports you. We've got a couple of great people out there already in the industry, right? We've got Tim Russ out there, right? We've got John Billingsley and Patton Oswald.
Yes.
And you've got an event coming up with him Saturday.
Yes.
Let's tell people about it if they want to attend. What's going on there?
Yeah, so you can find the details for the event. Patton is doing a stand-up comedy fundraiser for me on Saturday, St. Patrick's Day, 2 days from now, and it's going to be March 17th. I think it starts at 7, but you want to check. The website is just2018.com, and then there's an events page, so you can go to navigate to the events page. Oh, it's 8 p.m. Okay, see, there we go. See, I don't even know. I just know that I have to be there.
You'll be there.
Yeah, I don't manage my own schedule these days. It's kind of weird. But no, it's how you do it, because you've got to meet tons of people. You've got to talk to everybody. You got to get the message out. So, but that's what Patton's going to help us do, and it's in Santa Clarita. He wanted to host it. I said, can we do it in our district? And he said, yes, I would love to. And so we're having it at a brand newly renovated theater that's actually connected to an elementary school there. It's the New Hall Family Theater, and it seats about 500. We have just a few tickets left. So they're only $25 too. So $25. Yep, and you too can come see Patton Oswalt live and support me running for Congress.
Yeah.
So,
hey guys, and if you're feeling real good, bring your checkbook and write this little check.
Yeah, you can do more than $25. That's okay too. But
Venmo action.
Yeah, and if you can't make it, like, tell your friends, spread the word, because we need help. That's how grassroots campaigns thrive, is when people spread the word. And if you go and tell 5 people each or 10 people each, Jess is really great, you should support her. That's how we build a movement, and that's what we're trying to do.
We love that, and we do support Jess. I sadly do not live in her district, or I would be voting for her. I do have some friends that do live in your district,
awesome.
and I was already like, I'm going to call her when I leave and tell her about Jess.
And when can people vote?
So the primary is June 5th, and so that's like less than 90 days.
Very close.
Fast.
Yeah, so it's June 5th, and that is actually a California statewide primary. So for anyone in California, vote in the primary, and that is what I can tell you. That's a pro tip there, is typically Republicans turn out for the primaries and Democrats do not. So if you are a Democrat or an independent who leans a little bit Democratic, or if you're a Republican who's fed up with what's been going on, the day to vote in California is June 5th. And
let's get the vote, people.
Let's do it.
Yep, it is a Tuesday. You can register to vote by mail, and I don't remember all the websites, but if you're in LA, it's lavote.net. And that's where you go. You can register to vote. You can get information about your polling place if you want to go in person. But voting by mail is
easy.
Oh yeah, it's so easy.
So easy.
Everybody
people.
should do
There's
it.
no excuse.
Go.
People literally died for you to have the right to vote.
This is very
vote,
true.
please, and vote in the primaries. Vote in your city elections. I mean, people have no idea how much the local stuff impacts the national stage.
Yeah.
So if you really if you're worried about an environmental concern in your area, about the schools, about jobs, vote in the local elections too. That's super important.
Totally agree. And we support voting. Stand for something. Get a voice. Get out there, people. We support Jess Phoenix. Remember, her website is JessPhoenix2018.com.
Actually, just Jess 2018.
Oh,
Jess 2018.
Jess 2018. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's
Jess
okay.
2018.
It's my Twitter that's Jess Phoenix 2018.
That's right. And
There
I think
it
your
is.
Instagram is Jess Phoenix 2018.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Facebook is Facebook/JessPHX.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
Stalk me online. It's great. Don't really stalk me though. That's creepy.
But like, follow, subscribe.
Yes, that.
do all the
that.
things. And
You
go
know
see
it.
her show on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, Patton Oswalt's show to benefit her. You know.
I'll
what
be
I'm
there. I'll be there. I promise. I will not be as funny as Patton because all my jokes are terrible puns like geology rocks. Haha. Yeah, they really all are
Right,
like
right.
that. Yeah. So
But you know, she'll shake your hand and give you a high five. So
I'm good at high fives. Like, see, like
who doesn't
pro
want that?
level high fives.
Who doesn't want that in
Yes.
their
It's all
life?
about the elbows.
Yes, you got to do it.
Yes. Guys, we're going to take a really quick break. We're going to get set up for our live performance with Magenta Harley. And if you have not heard this girl before, dang, is all I can say about that. Sit tight, Facebook. Enjoy this behind the scenes. We'll be back in a moment, guys. Sit tight. Hi, guys. We're back.
Welcome back.
We traded in one redhead and got another one.
I know, redhead. There's a special on redheads today at the market, and we bought them all.
Hashtag gingers rule the world. So, Magenta Harley, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we had her once before, and we knew nothing about, well, I shouldn't say we knew nothing. We did know a little bit about her voice, but when she opened her mouth, we went like this. Oh, dang. So, I'm super stoked to have you back, and you've got a lot of great stuff going on.
Yes.
So, let's touch on it a little bit. So,
Yes.
this past winter, you released a song, new song,
Yes.
Broken Record.
Yes, I released a song. I wrote it for a friend of mine who had just a little short film and called The Broken Record, and kind of gave me the premise to the vibe we wanted. And I sat down, and it was one of those songs that just came out in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, because usually if that happens, then that means like, okay,
Yeah.
either it's
Yeah.
terrible or I'm on something.
gold.
Yeah. And so I went with it. I feel like it's a good one. So yeah, that's been exciting to be a part of
Yeah.
that.
And how's it been going since you released it?
It's been going really well. It's been like a fan favorite at shows. So I think
Love that.
people really like. We're excited to have it. Like I had a lot of people like, when is it coming out? So that's been really. It felt really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And FYI, I did download the song this morning on iTunes,
Yes,
everybody.
she messaged me. It's like, I just downloaded this. So
Which
thank you.
you're welcome. You should all know that is not the only song she has on iTunes.
No, I
You got a couple others on
a
there.
couple of others on there, and then my EP is released a week from today, actually.
Yes, right?
So
we got March
exciting.
22nd.
Almost there.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Big fat release party's happening at the Federal.
Yes, the Federal in North Hollywood, 7:00. Bring one, bring all.
Bring all your
Bring
friends.
all
All of
friends.
them.
So a guy called Sammy Stripmatter, he's playing before me. He's a fantastic artist. And then I'll be playing after that, playing all the songs from the new record, and which I have a copy for each of you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Which means when you go, you can buy them.
I know. No, these arrived about 10 minutes before I left my house today. So I'm like, all right.
So we're the first
So you
one?
guys are-
We're the first one. So awesome.
It is.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And this
Cannot wait
is
to
a
put this
gorgeous
on
photo,
in the
by the
car.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
thanks.
girl,
Gorgeous.
you're all kinds of hot. All kinds of hot. And guys, listen, if you are on iTunes, her songs are 99 cents. That's kind of a bargain compared to iTunes prices of $1.29. So stock up now before she shoots up to like $5 a pop, all right?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Get me the table.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so what else do you have? I was like, I was thinking about that there. So we know you wrote this for a short film.
Yes.
Is there any other secret information that we need to know about Broken Record?
It's my dog's favorite song.
She said we're all dog moms.
Oh, you really?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a little chihuahua who's like 11 pounds, and every time I play this song, whether he hears it, like the recorded version, or whether I'm just playing
Yeah.
it, I had to start putting him outside of my room because he just howls. He loves it. And he's in key. He's the perfect pitch. It's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
Yes,
I
I
haven't
know.
even heard the song yet, but I already love it. It's your dog's favorite.
He loves it. He loves it. It's so funny. Like a few years ago, he just started like
jamming
singing along
with you.
And I praised him so much that now he just won't shut up. But I love it though. It's so endearing, and it's like a little party trick as well. So like by bringing places and sing. Like if he's in the mood,
he'll
just
bust out a tune
and
for
then,
you.
but it's so funny because I'll be singing and everyone's like, oh yeah,
Like screw you.
yeah, like we don't need you. Do you see this dog singing?
What if you're like the Pied Piper? You know how the Pied Piper and all the little rats
for animals?
Yeah, so what if this is, see, I'm wondering if
Good
I played
thing.
for my dog, what will my dog think of the
Oh
song?
my god! I would die.
Maybe
if
you've written
you're-
the magic song for dogs.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
We need to try it out.
We all
Can you
would.
please?
We have
Yes,
to try it.
we're all
you
gonna
have
go
to let
home
me
here
know
for
what
Okay, I'm
dogs.
gonna let you know
Yeah.
what happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's doubtful, but I can
You
only
never
hope. I can
know.
only hope.
You know, there's like
never
dog
know.
whistles that sound on the dogs
Yeah.
in here. Maybe this is a song.
Oh god, maybe
It just happens to be the right notes. It just
Right.
dogs.
Or your dog
Maybe
is
it
like,
is.
this is perfectly in my range.
Well,
That's
It's like,
I
this
think
is my sweet spot.
that could be why it's one of his
Yeah.
favorites. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe he knows his key.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so stoked in jazz. I feel like I should ask you about more stuff upcoming, but I feel like this is the big upcoming thing.
This is the big upcoming thing.
And you've been doing a ton of shows, right?
Yeah, I've had a few really fun experiences. Last year I actually got to sing with Al Jardine from the Beach Boys, which was really cool.
How did you finagle that one, sister?
Actually, the producer for Broken Record, which I'm going to perform today, he works with him, or like works with people that he knows, and then was just kind of trying to find some people to sing background for him for a Christmas show that they did for the Venice light side Christmas lighting thing. And so he invited me. He's like, "Would you be interested?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But yeah.
Did he love you? What did he think?
Yeah, no, he was great. He was hilarious. He's like, God, I'm sick of these songs. And I'm like, well, I guess so. After however many decades of playing all these songs, he was just like, and then he's like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, okay, so he's putting on a show once he's on stage. So he was just like, oh God. I mean, I'm sick of some of the songs that I've been doing, and I've only been doing them a couple of years. I can't imagine. But you know, he was wonderful. It was a really fun night. So that was a big thing that happened for me.
Great thing, girlfriend. Okay, well, I'm pretty anxious. I mean, I want to keep talking to you, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to it.
I want to hear it.
Are you ready to play?
I am ready.
Okay, deal. All right, take it away,
Let's
girl.
do it.
All right. Okay, so this is called Broken Record. I have to turn this bad boy on.
Do whatever you need to.
Oh. Alrighty. And you over here. Just gotta get situated, you know.
Yeah, situate it up.
Alright, this is Broken Record. Grab that. It's inevitable. I repeat the same mistakes. My past is my
So good. You guys, you have to go out and get this EP.
Please.
As you were singing, I was just watching everybody's faces. And when you hit your first note, the people outside were like, it whipped out so good. It was
So
every
good.
time you sing, I feel so lucky to know you.
Oh, you're
Girl,
so
she's gonna
sweet.
make millions of dollars, like millions of dollars.
Please.
Please support this woman. Holy SHIT, guys. She's got a
Does that
release.
count?
Yes. No, it doesn't count. I
Quarter in the jar.
I smelled it. Guys, record release party coming up March 22nd.
March 22nd, the Federal Bar, 7 o'clock.
Oh,
Yes.
Magenta Harley's amazing. She can come back anytime she wants. We love her.
Go out and get it, people.
Yes.
Please follow, support Magenta
Yes.
Harley everywhere on social
Yes,
media.
MagentaHarley.com, Magenta Harley, all social media platforms, and iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music.
Yes, buy her music.
Download it.
Do it. But we're the Inside Noise Show, guys. Thanks for hanging with us as always. Thanks to Mixology for letting us be here. We appreciate it. Thanks to Curry, Jess Phoenix. Vote for her. I mean, if you want, but we support her. Congress 2018. And that's us, right?
Thanks for being here with us. Yes, I'll be here next week asking us anything.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, yes, I will.
Okay, guys. We'll see